are expected to cover, and the representative from the
you can
the parents
schools
assisting
there. It's
continue to
on the verge of tears, trying to explain to her 5-year-old why there were so many officers and such a massive police presence out here this morning. You had mentioned the balloons, right? We saw them coming into the school, and it's supposed to be just a regular day for kids, but unfortunately they are now in the middle of this barricade situation that is still ongoing. The school, KIPP DC, is in secure status, so essentially a lockdown. We have seen any students entering or leaving the building have been escorted out by an officer. So you can only imagine how scary that may be for, you know, a lot of the students and parents in this area. At this point, we don't have any other updates, not a lot of movement. It does look like Matt Gregory, from his vantage point, is able to see a little bit more than we are this morning, but there is still a significant amount of police presence. We have seen the ATF agents kind of huddled around here a little bit. Not a ton of action in and around this command center, and the few people that were out here this morning unable to get into the apartments, it does look like they have made their way back inside. So it just really unclear what any movement may be on this, but I mean, you can understand the significance and importance to make sure that police are executing this carefully, especially when you have someone who has already shot at police this morning, has shot those 3 officers, and has made their intention very clear. So it is unclear how long KIPP DC will be in the middle of all of this, what pickup will look like for parents, and how long the situation will be ongoing this morning. But we'll certainly be out here and we'll continue to monitor the situation. This is really all that's going on here along Benning Road. It is just a lot of police presence, a few people out here trying to figure out and watch and see how this is going to unfold, but really just a lot of media in this area. And then, of course, the officers and ATF that seems to be assisting in this investigation.
Marcella, thank you. Marcella Robertson with the update from closer to the scene. And for those of you tuning in right now, expecting to see The Price is Right, we're just here to tell you that the program is being preempted due to this ongoing breaking news. We're now going into our 3rd hour of when this started to unfold. It began just after 7:30 of this officer-involved shooting, and we still don't know how much longer it will go on for. We understand this is a ongoing barricade situation, and anytime that's involved, it's just a matter of when they can peacefully end this with the suspect inside the home.
Perhaps complicated by the fact that, you know, this is not just, we don't know who is in the house or
animals involved.
What is in the house exactly. So out of an abundance of caution for everyone involved here. So that banner says everything. 3 police officers shot. That's the importance and why we are staying on at this hour. And we know you're missing The Price is right now, but this is exactly why. In fact, those officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but serious injuries. And we find our Leslie Moreno at the Washington Hospital Center with where they've been taken. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, we are right outside the hospital. This is where those 4 officers were rushed here for treatment. I can tell you that we know 3 officers were shot. A representative for the police union told us that they were shot in the hand, in the foot. We also know, as you've been mentioning, a 4th officer was injured. They weren't shot, but they were injured. Again, here recovering. We're told these officers are expected to be okay. They're in great spirits. Again, hearing from a representative for the police union about the situation. They came out and gave us an update here, telling us that, again, they're going to be okay. They've been in contact with family and they're still here recovering. This all happened, as we've been saying, at around 7:30 when those officers were serving an arrest warrant, assisting the Humane Society. This was related to an animal cruelty case. That's where the officers were shot. Again, this was at around 7:30. Officers tried making contact with that man who was in that home. As you heard earlier, that representative for the police union said we often want these sort of arrests, these warrants to be executed peacefully. That was not the case this morning, but again, he's glad that these officers are going to be okay. This certainly, as he said earlier, could have gone completely different this morning, but again, officers here are expected to be okay. They're still here recovering and again in great spirits. Guys.
Leslie Moreno reporting from Washington Hospital Center. In fact, one of the union representative that she talked to earlier said the one officer was hit more than once, and the protective body gear that he had on shielded him from further harm. So we appreciate that, Leslie. Thank you very much for that report.
Let's head back out now to Matt Gregory, who is, or when we last spoke to him, he was on Hannah Place. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we're just about a block up from, so Hannah Place kind of divides at Benning Street. So we're on H, but Hannah Place right over my shoulder, that is where the focus of the entire situation has been. And I'm going to show you just kind of over my shoulder, walk you through the scene as we're looking at it right now, because we've been bouncing around the area here in Southeast. And this is kind of where the focus point is, because just off Hannah Place, past that particular Metro bus sign, that's where all the police seem to be stationed along there. It's further back, probably about a half block or so, is the actual home that the man has barricaded himself inside, according to police. Let's just kind of recap for you real quick. This all started earlier this morning when police went with animal control to serve a warrant for animal cruelty. Now, when we were talking with the police chief earlier, and I'm sure many of my colleagues have reiterated this, they said it is customary for police to assist on things like this, especially with animal control. It was upon approaching the home and they could not get the suspect to come out. They were then fired upon, and like you heard Leslie say, 3 of them hit, each one with different injuries, different levels of injuries, but all non-life threatening, and then a 4th officer injured as well. At this point, as we've been going through the investigation, we wanted to hear from the chief of police, really show you sort of, if you missed the press conference, reiterate some of the things she said about the situation as it develops.
And I'm here today just to give you an update on the officer-involved shooting that occurred here this morning. Our officers were assigned to our criminal apprehension unit, responded to the residents here in the 5000 block of Hannah Place Southeast to serve an arrest warrant that was occupied by the Humane Society for Cruelty to Animals around 7:30 a.m. this morning. Our officers attempted to make contact with the individual inside the residence in order to execute the arrest warrant. The individual refused to come outside. As officers attempted to gain entry, the individual fired upon them. A barricade has been declared in this particular incident. Our officers were struck by gunfire, 3 of our officers to be exact. All 3 have been transported with non-life-threatening injuries to our local area hospitals. A 4th officer was also injured but not shot. It was basically for minor injuries. At this time, the individual remains barricaded inside the residence. This remains an active situation, and the individual has continued to fire from that location. We are asking everyone to please stay out of this location until we are able to apprehend the suspect.
Hey, so one of the folks, we just kind of, while the soundbite was running, I came over here, and this is George. He lives sort of catty corner to it. George, you're a little far away because we're all kind of blocked off here, but can you tell me what happened this morning from what you were seeing?
I mean, all I was doing was sitting at the table this morning, watching TV. All of a sudden, about 7 or 8 rounds went on.
7, 8 rounds?
Yeah, about something like that, about 7 or 8 rounds.
And what were you thinking when you heard that?
Come outside and see what's going on.
Yeah.
He had so much.
Wow.
Yeah.